Hi, my name is Melanie Felvis. I'm the founder and director of Your Preschools, Inc. Under that umbrella, we have 4 Montessori schools. We have Smithville Christian Preschool, Grassy Christian Preschool, Vineland Christian Preschool, and Dunnville Christian Preschool, where I am today. I'm standing in one of our Dunnville Casa rooms. So Casa incorporates children from age preschool, JK, and SK. It's a 3-year cycle ideally, so the younger children can learn from the older children, and the older children can then set example for the younger children and be helpers. In Dunnville, we have 2 Casa rooms and a toddler room. I'm going to show you Casa 2 right now. Casa 1 is very similar and has the same Montessori jobs available. Well, Casa 1 has their cubbies out in the hall, and parents will help them change into their indoor shoes and hang up their belongings and then bring them to the door. In this class, the parents say goodbye at the door, the children come in, they hang up their items, and they work on changing their shoes. In all of our classes, we encourage that independent piece. We encourage the children to try, and the teachers are available to help them when they need it. A typical day in the Casa class in Dunnville, we have outdoor space where we have a licensed outdoor playground. We have time in the gym during inclement weather. We have our work cycle in our 5 learning areas of the Montessori classroom. We have lunch, and we provide healthy morning and afternoon snacks. In this particular class, there is not a napping time, but in Casa 1 there is. Let's explore the Montessori areas and see what the children are doing during their work cycle. This is the language area in our Montessori classroom. We have a huge concentration on the phonetic sound that each letter makes. When the children start reading, they need to know the sound it makes, such as k, a, t, as opposed to c, a, t. Most children are having a one-on-one lesson with the teacher daily, where the teacher would spread the 3 letters out on the table, and the children would trace them with their fingers. Tracing the letter is a pre-writing skill. Then the teacher would talk about the sound that it makes, k for cat. The teacher might say, put k for cat on your head. Tell your friend this is k for cat. Put k for cat back on the table. The child is hearing the sound the letter makes over and over and over to build that foundation for later reading. After the sound lesson, the children will then do some printing. Some children are starting to print on paper, while others have graduated into a printing book. When they're in the printing book, they're using a pencil, which requires more fine motor control than the markers. The teacher has gone in orange here, and the student has traced the letters. Some students will actually go into a printing book with smaller blue lines and begin printing sentences. In our math area, we want to teach the children about numbers with number recognition and quantity, about patterns, about adding numbers together, and about addition and subtraction, sometimes even multiplication and division. So like the sandpaper letters, we have sandpaper numbers. The children are tracing these and learning how to form the number. We might play a game with our green numbers and say, let's go on a hunt and find 2 books. Let's find 1 pencil. And the idea is that we're counting things out one at a time. The children are then understanding quantity. We also have counters. So on number 2, we might place 1, 2 hearts. The children, again, are understanding that quantity, understanding that 2 is this versus 9, you're going to have a lot more hearts. We also talk to the children about recognizing the number and then the quantity with our spindle boxes. With the spindle boxes, one at a time we count the spindles into their columns. So 0 go in 0, 1 goes in 1. In number 2, we're going to count one at a time. 1, 2, and so on. Once they reach number 9, if they've done it correctly, all the spindles are out of the cup. Some of our children start here and then move on into addition and subtraction, as I mentioned, sometimes even multiplication and division. The children start and then build on those skills. In the Montessori program, we believe in sensitive periods. So a child might be really interested in math for a certain period of time. The educators are observing that and making sure that they're teaching them all the math that they want to learn during that time. In the sensorial area, we want the children to think about using all of their senses. So we might have smelling jars where they have to match the scent with a card. We also have our sound boxes. And our sound boxes have cylinders inside. Some are blue and some are red. The child will shake the cylinder beside her ear and then look for the match in the red. So we can hear the blue, and if they match, they go together. If they don't match, then the red one goes back, and the child then starts to find the match. These ones don't match. So the child will continue on until they've made all of the matches. In our cultural area, the children are learning about science, geography, and math. In this class, they've also taken that a step farther where they're learning about emotions. You can see that the cards here have different emotions on them. The child can look at the picture, read it, and even look at themselves to see how they're feeling. With science, a lot of times they're doing science experiments, mixing things together to see what the effects are. We also have science jobs. This is one of them, where we're going to find different magnets and different materials. They can transfer them into another bowl using the magnets. With geography, we often talk about Canada, we talk about our world, we also talk about how to be kind to our environment and how to treat our environment. With history, we might talk about something that happened a long time ago versus something that's now, or we might simply have a class photo album where you can see the progression of time because you can see that this is what I looked like at the beginning of the school year and this is what I look like at the end. Our practical life area is a lot of fun. This is where the children are developing their fine motor control. Sometimes they're seeing some items that they might see around their house, like tongs, locks, things like that. And sometimes they're seeing something that's just specifically for school. The children are often using tongs, scoops, strings to develop that fine motor control. You will find a lot of transfer jobs such as this in the practical life area. You'll see a lot of pouring jobs in the practical life area. Sometimes they're filled with rice or beans, sometimes they're filled with water. The children enjoy pouring them back and forth, and they're using their hand-eye coordination as well as their fine motor skills. Something that's unique in the Montessori practical life area are the dressing frames. So I talked earlier about encouraging that independence, self-help skills. This is a dressing frame that has snaps. So the children are learning how to operate snaps. If they have snaps on their clothing, they're able to practice this. We also have ones with zippers, we have ones with ties, buckles. These are wonderful things for children to begin to learn how to dress themselves. In our classrooms, you're going to see about 90% Montessori materials and 10% things that have come from the traditional early childhood education classrooms, such as a sensory bin, an art shelf, and a provocation area. When the students are engaged in their work cycle, they're choosing from all of the jobs in the classroom. You might recognize the pink tower. It's in all of our videos, and it's a staple in the Montessori classroom. The pink tower has 10 pink blocks, from biggest to smallest. The children start to understand the difference in weight and size. All of the blocks with the pink tower, as well as the brown stairs, are all the same color because we want the children to understand about the difference in size over memorizing a color pattern. The sensorial jobs are often done on mats. Some of our smaller jobs are done at the table, and the larger jobs, the children roll out a mat onto the floor and put their job on that mat. Whether the child's working on the mat or at the table, this is defined as their workspace. We want to have respect for that child and respect for the materials. If a child is building the pink tower on the mat inside their workspace and another child comes up, they need to ask that first child if they can join in. That first child can say yes or no. That cuts down on a lot of the conflict because the children are respecting one another. In the sensorial area, we also have the red rods where they're learning to arrange them from longest to shortest. A lot of these jobs you will see done in this manner. Once the children have mastered building the pink tower or the brown stairs like this, they can then start to learn the extensions. The extensions might be building them in a different direction or even combining the two. We have an entire binder full of different extensions. Some of them actually even deal with shade. So we'll put the blinds down and you can see where the shadows come from. You can find a cozy area or a quiet area in all of our classrooms. This allows the children to decompress. When they're busy with their work cycle and they want to take a break and read a book or just sit quietly with a peer, they have that opportunity. We also use this area for large group gatherings. Sometimes the teacher's going over the calendar or introducing a new job. Sometimes they're doing songs, stories, activities. Sometimes they're introducing their sign language signs or French. Many of our classrooms also have a family board. I love that the children have photos of their families here so they can feel like this is their classroom and they belong. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of one of our Dunnville Casa rooms. If you have more questions, please reach out. If you'd like to see tours of other classrooms that we have, or learn more about our program, you can also catch the rest of our videos on our Facebook page or on our website, yourpreschools.info. Thanks and have a great day.